Well, call recorder has crashed once already, so it might be a very interesting.
So a lot of profanity and doing things over again.
Yes. All right.
It looks good enough. Fuck it.
I'm ready. Everybody else ready?
Yep.
Nope.
All right. Brian, why don't you bring us in?
What do we usually say? I don't even remember.
I don't know. Just fucking make something up.
That'll work.
Yeah. Just make some shit up. We're on episode 204, just so you know.
Oh, yes, I see that.
Yeah.
According to my paper, we're on episode 204 of Your Questions, My Answers. I'm here with the regular Your Questions, My Answers panel, the hippie, the gun nut, and whatever the fuck, the torpedo. All right. So I think we should just get right into the first question. I'll go ahead and read it since I'm already talking. Conrad by YouTube. Really enjoying these YQMA episodes. They have been informative and entertaining. Up until recently, you guys haven't posted.
Keep going.
I find this surprising since Jerry is listed as an ambassador, and you guys carry their logo on your site, so I assume you are all members. Where do you guys stand with CRA? How do you feel about the recent revelation that almost 50% of their cash goes to salaries? What do you think, Jerry? You're the big ambassador type. You got the bright powder blue shirt to prove it, so
yeah,
tell us about it.
The powder blue shirt actually went through a remake recently. You could order a new one.
Did that one also cost you $100?
Zing! And, I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, I understand. I like what they're trying to do. I like the guys behind it. I also realize that, the biggest cost on any company is always the salary. But, for a long time it was, hey, $35 isn't that much money, but we need all the members we can get. So if you can't afford $35, blah, 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 all this other stuff. And then you find out $17.50 of it is going in somebody's pockets. But, I mean, I don't expect them to do it for free. Starting. So I don't know. I mean, I understand their mission. I don't know. Walt, what do you think, man? I don't know. I see it both ways.
I'm kind of in the same position you are. I mean, I like what they're trying to do. I like the, I like the steps they have gone through politically. But that did kind of irk me when I saw that such a large percentage of the income for the organization was going towards salaries. So I'm kind of on the fence, just like you are.
Yeah. I mean, it's just weird. I mean, I know when they first started out, they wanted to kind of stop the bleeding. Stop all these smoking bans and taxations from sprouting up in places. But at some point, they're gonna have to change their mission to try to, roll back some of these things and some of these initiatives. And I don't know. What do you think, Mike? Hippie?
Well, I think it sucks for one reason that ambassadors actually have to pay to be an ambassador. I think that's one of the stupidest things. I'm going to be the one getting hate mail. It's all right. but
I'm going to be the one sending it, and it won't just be about CRA.
Yeah. But I do. I think that's so ridiculous. I mean, like you said, I mean, there are, it came out about the salaries and everything else. How much is it going to cost to actually send somebody a T-shirt or literature or whatever to be an ambassador to represent them without having that person have to pay for it? Pay for the privilege to represent a company that's making money. It just doesn't make sense to me. But I like CRA. I like what they stand for. I like the people. And I still have my membership. It's actually coming up for renewal here soon. And I was a little on the fence because of the salary. What happened? Did I miss something, or are you just laughing at me?
Hey, Walt, what's your current membership status? if
Expired?
I think so is mine.
You're an expired ambassador. I'm not sure how that works.
I'm an ambassador with an expired membership.
Oh my!
I have a different perspective on it because my thought is Mike is not is not technically correct, because they are in fact legally a non-profit. So the business itself does not make any money. And I think, and it's not going to be, it's not clearly not the popular viewpoint, but you got to pay guys enough that they're going to stick around. This is what they do because they like what they're doing, but this also has to pay their bills. And it does seem like a lot of money, but there's two guys doing the entire thing, and lobbyists aren't cheap to start off with. Now, I don't know how good of a lobbyist he is. I mean, I really don't know. I mean, I have no clue. They appear to be getting some stuff done, so I don't think it's unreasonable. And based on what he's told me, their compensation is not keyed to how much money they're bringing in. They get paid what they get paid. They don't get any bonuses based upon anything. There's no bonuses for recruiting people. So their compensation is going to stay here, and as it grows, it's the percentage is going to become the smaller and smaller piece of it in theory. And I don't know. Yeah, they get paid a lot. They get paid a large percentage of it. But the thing is it's official. But I think most of the real money that's paying for them is still coming from the founders, which are a bunch of manufacturers. So the money coming in right now is not. It might just be basically covering the cost, but that's about it. So it's they're not really making money. At this point, it's not something that if it weren't. I don't think if it didn't have the safety net of the guys that founded the operation, it wouldn't just be able to go on its own. At some point, probably, but it's going to have to grow for that to happen. So, yeah, I mean...
Yeah, but, we've been saying the same thing for the past, 3 years. I mean, how much time do they need? I mean, are we going to be still saying the same thing in 3 years?
Well, the thing is everybody's skeptical, so everybody's joining in a slow pace. They need however long they need. I mean... They've done some stuff, and people will join, but it's the thing. If everybody thinks what you think, so how long are they going to need? I'm not sure if I'm going to join. Well, they're going to need almost an infinite period of time until people change their minds. So it's one of those things. Like, yeah, it's not a money making venture that I can tell.
So then why not just make the membership free?
Because then everybody will join, but nobody will actually. I think the point of this is, at one point, it will make enough to pay for all of the legal issues, all of the various things they have to do all around the country, as well as pay their salaries. Right now, it doesn't do both. So that's the idea. You get people in that are paying their dues.
Right now, they're just paying their salaries.
But pretty much, yes. I mean,
I do remember seeing a breakdown. There was a percentage for marketing, and I don't remember where I saw it or who posted it, but there were specifics.
I think the hardest thing for people to realize, well, think about the NRA. I mean, Walt, you're like gun-toting dude over there.
It's used to that, right? And those dudes that work for that aren't cheap. I guarantee you, anything that's like higher up in the echelon is not under six figures. I guarantee you that. I mean, that's
and the other thing, look how long it took for the NRA to actually start doing anything, in all reality. And even today, they're still fighting, battles all across the country a lot of times to try to preserve the right to carry a firearm. So I think I agree with Brian in that aspect. I mean, CRA is a little young.
It's fucking 3, dude. I mean, it's 3. I mean, guys, it's 3. I'm saying. You got to cut it some slack.
Well, yeah, but now I do also think that in the coming years, I mean, once they hit 5, 6, 8, 10 years, and if they're still doing the same thing or not doing a whole lot, then I think you start to question it and wonder what's going on.
If the growth flatlines at some point, or just whatever, then they know it's a failed organization. They need numbers. They don't have any clout until they have numbers. That's part of it. I guess giving away memberships would get them the numbers, but I mean, I don't know how that will work. I mean, they need funding as well to do what they do. They have to hire lawyers. They have to hire. In addition to having the 2 guys they're getting paid, they have to hire lobbyists in the areas that know the people in where the legislation is happening. It's Glenn Loop cannot hit every place that they're working on all at once. I mean, it's just not even physically possible.
Well, do you think that what they're doing is effective? I mean, you see the petitions rolling around, but how many politicians really care how many signatures are on the petition if 10% of them are constituents and the 90 and the other 90% are people waving their fist around on the internet. I mean, do you think that their efforts could be better spent? Maybe. Because I know, like, one of the biggest.
They do have some points, and I talked to the guys, and they have on their website, they have a number of things, and a number of things where they have made a definite difference. Just the amount of the time that they spent there, like, you know, they were even noted. I was told that in the council meetings or whatever, they mentioned these guys because they were always around. They were always, so they're having an impact. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to quantify what it would be. I really don't know. There's not a really good way of measuring if you had an impact. You know, it's like measuring what kind of an impact we have on a cigar if we review it well or if we give it a terrible review. How do you measure that? I don't know. We don't have a good metric for measuring these guys. So I mean, maybe they don't. I don't know. It's hard to say.
I mean, one of the biggest complaints you see, like just recently, there was Mike from Buckhead and posted a news story about a Georgia cigar ban or Georgia smoking ban had failed, and you know, the comments started rolling in. You know, where was the CRA about this one? You know, we hadn't heard about it, and you see that a lot. There's a lot of things that are going on that you really don't hear about, and where is the CRA? On the other hand, when they get behind something and they do this nationwide push, they really do seem to have an impact. So it seems like they have I mean, there is only 2 of them, so I guess they do have a pretty small scope. But I don't know. Maybe there should be some sort of news aggregator to push the word instead of them just picking and choosing certain things and being the driving force behind it. But I don't know.
Yeah, I think they're gonna definitely have to add people, you know, as time goes on, and that's the other thing, like you said. I mean, there's only 2 of them. They really do, and how do you get to every single thing? I mean, they could send letters, they could do something like that, but how much of an impact being there? So I don't know. Maybe they should have Jerry go.
I think the 50% thing wouldn't look so bad if you knew there weren't just 2 people. you know what I mean? It just seems, knowing there's only 2 people and the 2 people are bringing are taking half the cash, just kind of seems disproportionate. If there were like 50 people and then half of it went to their salaries, then that's understandable. But there's 2. That's what kind of just rattles my brain here. But then what's the right number to compensate them, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So
you have to looking at it from that way. That's a figure, but it's based upon the current membership levels and their salaries. So the indication is their salaries aren't pegged to. I don't know what their compensation arrangement is, but it's not going to go up with the membership numbers. It's going to stay at some level there. There may be some increases over time. I don't know, but at some point, if it grows the way it should grow, the way they'd hope it would grow, it would become a smaller and smaller percentage. So it's one of those things, like you take it. It doesn't sound unreasonable what they're making, at least to me, just based upon the kind of work that they're doing. But when you look at it from a percentage basis, yeah, it looks tough. But I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, I think lobbyists, like I said, not cheap. I think that Glenn is kind of on the cheap end of things.
I guess if we were a little more responsible with our reporting, one of us would have had the actual breakdown of the expenses instead of just making shit up. Who knows? I mean, we're just saying 50%. That's just what I call it, but I don't recall seeing the report myself, so I'm just going with what Conrad said here. But
it seems about right. I mean, from what I remember, I don't remember the figures. I looked through them at one point.
I hear Walt clacking at the keys. Maybe he's gonna bring it up.
Yeah, I don't remember where I saw it, but
yeah, I if I did see it, it was just a glance, and I didn't really pay too much attention to it.
There was a filing, and I think it was Sir Pants or Not that found it on some website. He posted, like, there was some filing website that had a PDF, and you could look through it and had all the details and such. That's where you got the actual numbers for what they're paid. And I don't recall if I had some details I included in an article I wrote for the Cigar Network. If Sheboygan ever gets that thing out, I don't know what's up with that, but the next issue, whenever that comes out, there'll be an article, and I do mention some figures in there. Unfortunately, I don't really have that on hand at the moment. So,
all right. Well, before we go on to our next question, why don't we go around real quick and see what everybody's smoking? Walt, what do you got? What do you got lit?
I had an Ashton VSG, but it's kind of like falling apart on me. I got the wrapper burst.
Ouch.
It's not burning properly. It's a massive cigar, but I have a backup, and that's the La Aurora 1495 Connoisseur Selection Corojo.
Michael?
Thank you, Jerry.
It's actually Jeremiah, but go right ahead.
Jeremiah.
yeah.
And I just have that song in my head now.
Jesus.
Art Deco.
Mr. Hewitt?
I'm going with the Hoyo de Nicaragua Celebracion, and I'm drinking a beer called Quercus, a smoked oaked porter, which is, it's all right. It's not as good as I thought it might be, but it's okay. So that's what's up.
Nothing fancy. It doesn't have a crazy name or anything.
The number 9 or whatever is just IPA.
No, this is, I got it in my beer koozie here. Keep it cold.
keep it cozy in the koozie.
HIPAA or something like that.
Oh, okay.
I bought a variety pack after us talking about it last episode.
All right, I got the Xeno Platinum Z-Class Robusto. And got a little salted caramel mocha going on. All right. Mike, why don't you read the next question?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I saw you were just like dazing off. And
tired. It's getting ready for my bedtime. William.
Second.
William via Stogie Review. If I smoke a cigar once and decide that I don't necessarily enjoy its profile, I frequently write off all vitolas of that particular cigar and never pick it up again, opting for something I haven't tried. Do you think I'm missing out? Would you pick it up again and hope you notice something different that next time, different size, or move on? What do you think, Jerry?
You got to definitely try the different sizes. I was like William for a while there, where if I didn't like a certain cigar the first time I tried it and in a certain size, I just didn't bother trying it. But I've learned over time that, you know, the CAO Osa Soul was a perfect example. It was all depending on what size. The Room 101, the original, was based on what size you got. So a lot of it is definitely the size and the little tweaks they make to accommodate the size that can have an impact. Mr. Hewitt?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting this comes up because I've talked about it over the past couple of weeks with a number of different people, and we've started. One of the guys has been referring to it as the rule of 3, and what he typically does, and it's pretty similar to what I would do. I don't really write something off until I've smoked it, 3 times at the very least. Sometimes, as many as 4 or 5, depending on how many I bought when I picked it up. Usually, it's for review. And that's what I figure. I mean, if it's just god awful the first time you have it, and it's a sample or you spot one, yeah, I might not go back to it unless there was somebody was like insistent that it was a good smoke. I might try it again because all kinds of environmental factors will affect it. If you drink something strange, eat something strange, whatever. You spent the night with Jerry's mom, the cigar might just be completely off for you that particular time. But
she is planning on getting that surgery there, right here.
Oh, okay, good. I've been trying to get her to get it, so a lot less in the way, a little less dangling action. Anyway, so yeah, I think that if you don't have a reason to and you didn't like it the first time, maybe you pass it up. There's a lot of stuff out there, but a lot of times if it's something you've heard a lot of good stuff about and it just comes off like bad or whatever the first time, you're like, yeah, give it another shot. You got to play it by ear, of course. But if it's after 3 times and it's still kind of crummy, I mean, I don't know, why torment yourself with the other vitolas, or try it three times with 3 different vitolas. I mean, whatever. But so I got to go with the rule of 3 or 3 plus.
Cool. I know who I can send 3 devil's weed to now.
Please don't. I've had
and coupons.
And coupons.
Yeah, coupons.
Coupons.
Well, I agree for the most part, unless the cigar is just god awful, and then I won't try others. But if it's kind of so-so, I'm willing to try it a handful of times, different sizes, to see if you can find that one that's really good. And Jerry mentioned the Room 101 was a prime example. The 8 and 11 or whatever it was.
Right.
Was fantastic. The others not so much. Did Brian's video just disappear?
Yeah.
I think it did. Oh. I don't see me either. Hold on. How do I start me back up?
Nobody wants to know.
No. There I am.
So we've been recording this whole time without a crash? I'm not seeing the little blinking red light.
Yeah, no, it's still going strong. Don't fucking jinx us. I'll knock on wood.
That sounds.
It sounds like plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did.
Plastic kitchen picnic table. Yeah.
Fuck you all. I hate you inside smokers with a passion.
Being inside is nice.
Mike,
Right.
you gonna weigh in, or Walt, were you done?
Oh. Yeah, it was Walt.
Yeah, I'm done.
No.
All right.
Walt just abruptly stops and then just I'm done.
We haven't done a good job of passing it along. I just kind of stopped.
Right. I agree with Brian. I agree with Jared. Did Brian's video just stop?
Yeah, that was it.
That was it.
And it was just like, okay. All right. Yeah, I agree too. I mean, I like the rule of 3, like Brian said.
Yeah, you do.
I also like, now, as long as a cigar in total... As long as the cigar is in total dog shit, I'll try it in another size.
What is that Chief Havo always says? 2 in the goo, 1 in the poo, or some shit like that. Hold on, it's not. What is it? I thought it was 2.
1 in the stink.
I thought it was 2 in the goo, 1 in the poo. Okay.
Well, you go the other way around. 1 in the goo, 2 in the poo.
That's only your mom, Brian Hewitt.
Oh, damn. I guess that's what she said wouldn't work so well in there.
No,
Not really.
No.
You done, Mike?
Oh, I'm done.
Okay.
Yeah, you are.
I cannot follow that up whatsoever.
All right, our next question comes from Blaze via YouTube. If there was a cigar Hall of Fame run by you guys, what would be the first manufacturer you would induct, and what cigar would you induct first? Walter White the fourth.
This could be really easy, and I could say like Jose Blanco or Don Pepin Garcia. You'd probably get the wave going. Everyone would get all excited.
Oh. Sorry. I almost blew the wave. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I really like Ernesto Perez Carrillo stuff. He's been around forever. With La Gloria Cubana, and then moving on to his own brand, EP Carrillo. So I'm going to take the easy way out and say Ernesto Perez Carrillo. And as far as the cigar goes, his inaugural 2009 was pretty good.
Hall of Fame cigar. All right.
Oh, I'll go.
Go ahead, Brian.
Well, if you're gonna have a Hall of Fame for the people, Zeno Davidoff has got to be in there. I mean, come on, who's done more for the cigar industry over a long period of time than Davidoff?
Who else brings out $5,000 humidors?
It's true.
Diamond encrusted lighters.
Yeah,
diamond encrusted cigar bands, right?
And I do like those. I did like the diamond encrusted cigar band. I did want one, but my wife wouldn't get me one.
That bitch. No, I'm joking.
She'll never watch this, so I'm safe.
I'm safe. Woo!
Let's see. Robania, I would think, would be one of the ones you'd want to put out there. And I was thinking EP Korea that was one of the first names that came to mind. course, the rest. I don't know. He also asked for a cigar. I'm like, meh. Well, I'd have to go with stuff that's been in my top 10 list. So if it's been in one of my top 10 lists, boom, it's in.
I'm envisioning like an award show, and it's kind of hard to card out that to have it all down to the award show. That's why I was thinking live people.
Awards are given posthumously. We can bring up a vase of his ashes, or we can hang the coffin from the ceiling and whatever. Spin it around so people can get a look.
Michael?
Fuente. I'm surprised one of you guys didn't say it first.
I am too, damn it.
Yeah. As for the cigar, man, that is really, really tough to say. The biggest problem is cigars come and go so quick.
Right.
What's that?
It has to be a cigar with staying power. It's been around, Like a cigar Brian Hewitt just reviewed. That's been around for 10 years. That's staying power.
Yeah, there you go.
Brian Hewitt does reviews?
Lame-ass written ones, but what if?
I do reviews for the intellectual. We have Jerry for Fred insert.
Wait a minute, Mike's last review was what again? Oh yeah, it was written.
Shut
poorly at that.
Thank you
Nice.
very much. Thank you. I miss these sessions.
I do too.
Either way, we crap on you whether you're here or you're not. So
I know.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. A cigar, I would say. Here, I'll go with one that everybody will hate me for. CAO Gold. It's been around.
Yeah.
People I still like them.
Well, I won't hate you for that, but I will hate you in general. So
that's all right. I'm used to that.
It's not a bad smoke. It has staying power. Staying power seems like a big for that.
I will agree with Mike that if we're talking Hall of Fame type stuff, it's got to be a cigar and a brand that's been around a while. I don't think guys like Tatuaje or even Don Pepin stuff has been around for that long enough to qualify. I go with Fuente. I go with Fuente or Padron, somewhere in there, and either cigar from their biggest stuff, the Opus X or the Padron Annies. So
true. The Opus, you can't question the staying power, and people still pay frickin' $30 a stick for those damn things, even though MSRP is like $8 or $9.
Right. So it's a cigar that's lasted through the boom, still goes strong, still a good seller. I don't really care for it too much, but it's you can't diminish its impact. So, all right. We killed that one. All right.
That's done.
All right. I'll read the next. I already read the question.
Yeah.
Walt, your turn. Read a question.
All right. Running late. Via Stogie Review. Do you have a list of items that every cigar enthusiast needs in order to get the most out of smoking premium cigars? Example, do you need a torch lighter? Do you need a cigar poker? Do you need a humidor? What do you use to smoke your cigars to the nub? So, who wants to lead that one off?
Ooh!
Necessary accessories. Go, Mike.
Nothing.
Hair extensions.
Frisbee.
Honestly, you really don't need much at all. You can use a regular lighter, you can use matches, you can use anything to cut the cigar you want. People still bite the tip off to a humidor unless you want to keep some at your own house. If you're gonna just keep going to a shop to smoke cigars when you go, either get a humidor, buy a locker, or just buy them when you go there to smoke. And they'll have a cutter, they'll have a lighter, they'll have everything you need to smoke it down to the nub. I use a toothpick. Go for it, Brian, I guess.
I hate to agree with Mike, but I kind of do.
Thank you.
I think he was reading my notes. He cheated. This is the lighter that came out with the Saint and Sinner thing. It's one of those little Jeep things, however you pronounce it, and it's nothing special. And this, the cigar snobs will tell you, you shouldn't light with this because it might be, the parts of flavor in it, whatever. and it's not that big of a deal. I just
Mine's bigger.
You wish.
That's not what she said.
In your dreams.
So what you need?
No, that is what she said.
In your dreams, yes, yeah. So what you really need is, I mean, you need some fire of some sort. Don't use a candle. I mean, that's all I'll say. You don't want that crap in there, but you need a little fire, and you know, you don't even need a cutter. I mean, like, you know, the Cubans will use thumbnail or whatever, bite the end off. A cheap cutter will work. I mean, expensive ones will cut better a lot of times, but you don't even need that necessarily as long as you get a clean cut. And yeah, draw poker, I almost never need one if you take care of your cigars. I've just never used one. And I don't know, I'm trying to think of anything else. Like nubbing a cigar, I just smoke it down to, if I can't hold it, I'm done with it, you know.
Don't need a draw poker. You need a shish kebab rod.
You could do that, yeah. So how about you, Walt?
Is that pushed into a wine cork?
No, it's actually, I don't know it's a piece of wood at the end. I don't know where the hell we got them. Look, it even says something. I don't know what the hell it means, but
Tapenia.
Yeah,
probably
got me.
With a picture of a fork.
Like yeah.
Yeah.
Fork.
So it's like, what, this, somebody was confused because that sure don't look like a fork to me, but I don't know.
As far as those draw pokers go, I've had more trouble with them than they're worth. I mean, they tend to cause more problems than solutions, as far as I'm concerned. So I wouldn't even consider that. I guess you really don't need anything. Some sort of humidor would kind of help if you're planning on staying into the hobby long term, unless you're planning on going to the cigar shop each and every time you want to stick. Cheap lighters get you by. Don't necessarily need a cutter. So I guess, no, you don't really need anything.
You need a browser, computer or browser, and it's set to Stogie Review. You do need that. Otherwise, none of this shit will work. It won't work for you. You know, you need to have it on Stogie Review while you're smoking. Then it'll work. Everything else completely optional.
For me, all you need are 3 white friends.
I thought he was. I thought the hippie was like Cherokee or something. At least he'd have an excuse for the long hair. I mean, what are you?
I don't know what the hell I am.
Okay.
I just wanted to do a review one day with one of those Japanese top knots sticking out the top of his head.
Yeah, you gotta do more with the hair, man.
I could spike it. I could just spike it way up. I could do a mohawk.
Do you really blow dry your hair every morning?
No.
you
only when I'm with Walt.
Only when you're with Walt. Okay. Oh man, yeah. Hewitt, read the next question.
All right. So the last one was running late, and we are, but this one is Lanh, L-A-N-H, via Stogie Review. What is the longest you've allowed a cigar to age in your humidor? Do you prefer fresh or aged cigars? Do you have a separate humidor that you use specifically for aging? And I'm going to go to Jerry.
Any aging done on my part's done completely accidentally, because that's just something I tucked away and forgot about. I don't do it on purpose. So I don't really have a humidor set for aging or anything like that. My humidor organization is basically wherever anything will fit, wherever I have room at the time. I guess the only way I separate my humidor is I do have some flavored stuff that I keep in a small desktop humidor. But no, I don't prefer.
You keep that with your wine coolers.
Well, your mom's a big fan of them. I got to have something over, something for her when she comes visit. I don't have a preference either way. I've smoked cigars freshly rolled. I've smoked cigars that have been aged 12 years and it tasted like air. I mean, it just, to me, it doesn't really matter. Cigar is a cigar as long as it burns. Well,
I'm pretty much the same way. I store them by whatever room I have. Nothing's ever aged intentionally. And much like you, I've had stuff that was fresh rolled at an event, and it was pretty good. I've had stuff that's been sitting around for years, and some of it's pretty good. I really don't put a whole lot of thought into the age stuff. I've had a handful of sticks that were really good fresh, but then after a few years, they just kind of lost their punch, their oomph. and it's sort of tapered off, made the cigar kind of go downhill a little bit. So I'm kind of indifferent.
That's a good point, though. I mean, a bad cigar is not going to get any better with age. I mean, it's still going to be just going to be an aged bad cigar, right?
Devil's weed. 12 years later.
The various shitty components will have melded together into a massive, rounded, shitty component. Yeah. This is a wonderfully married ball of shit.
Ball of shit.
Ball of shit.
Oh, I guess Walt's done. Okay.
Just
stopped again.
Walt needs a sign, just like I'm done.
Yeah. Done.
Like one of those restaurants where they keep bringing you the meat until you turn over the little red sign and they stop. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Restaurant or your mom?
Restaurant like that.
Your mom keeps wanting the meat. Good.
Dude,
Good,
continuous food at a restaurant. Oh, I'm searching one out.
Jerry's hungry for meat, so I didn't catch all of that. A lot of mutter and a lot of meat. Looking for some meat.
I was trying to come up with the zing and...
Zing.
Yeah, you were hunting for something.
I was. I know. It just wasn't coming out. Yeah.
What you found was meat.
I'll get you.
No, I don't intentionally age anything so far. I mean, maybe for a year or so, year and a half, 2 years at the most.
Those fine aged bundles, yes.
Yeah, Now, I may have some of those devil's weed,
shit.
After I die.
All those aged CAO golds. Right?
I'll let them in the will to somebody, and they'll just love me for it.
I go before.
But no. On Twitter, Tom Barbalet sent me a bunch of aged cigars that he aged for quite a while, and it's kind of interesting how some of the better cigars age. Like Walt was saying, some of them lose their punch. Like even the Opus. I thought the Opus X lost a lot of its power after aging for, I think he said it was like 8 years. 6 years, 8 years, something like that. He had it aged, but no, I don't have a separate humidor set aside to do it. Nothing. So, Brian,
you would expect me to say exactly the same thing, and it's almost true. But at this point in the game, any humidor I have is an aging humidor because everything else is in Ziplocs with humidipacks. Because I don't have room for anything, and I got way too much shit. So if it's in a humidor, it's probably getting old. In terms,
and then you have shit in your locker at Buckhead too.
Yeah, that too. Jesus. Yeah, but that's not really. No, that's a humidor, but there's some stuff in there that's over a year old now too. So I'm like, there's old shit everywhere in my house, including Jerry's mom, always over here. Anyway, it was there. I had to grab it.
That's what she said.
I've had some great stuff fresh that I really dig, but I'm really into. I don't even get that.
Keep going.
Okay. Anyway, some stuff that just when it first hits the shops, it's actually really good, and it actually goes through kind of a little bit of a period. I don't know why they're laughing, but I'm going to keep going. But I right now I really do enjoy smoking anything. It's got a fair amount of age on it, like a fresh Opus, with the exception of the most recent batches. I haven't really cared for, but you get 3 or 4 years on them. Those things are great. Now you get 8 years on them, you got to expect these things are going to disappear in terms of power and flavor. Do I have something on my face? I mean, what the hell's going on, guys?
You got the show, Brian. They're gone.
All right. and so that's about it. I didn't think I talked that long. I mean, I know I do, but all right, guys, shut the hell up. Who's next? Is it me? I just did that
one. Somebody needs to read a question. That's all I know. I don't even know who read the last one.
One of you giggling girls needs to get on task.
I believe it's Walt's turn.
Yeah.
All right. Thomas says, I'm a big...
Go ahead.
All right, this one comes from Thomas, and he says, I'm a big fan of Mexican rappers. They always taste chocolatey and rich, and some of the best cigars that I've smoked have been San Andreas Maduro. My question is, coming out of IPCPR this year, Connecticut seemed to be all the rage, but Mexican wrappers also seem to be gaining steam. Do you think the San Andreas Maduro and other Mexican tobacco will start to gain mainstream acceptance and staying power? Take it away, Mike. I'm done.
It said all mad and shit. I'm fucking done.
Take it, damn it. Just take it.
Wow, you guys spend a little too much time together.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the San Andreas Maduro wrapper. I don't know if it's just a growing thing with that there's not a lot of quantity or what that is. But Mexican has been used for a while, at least as a filler, I know. But as the wrapper, I mean, I've had a few that had the San Andreas Maduro, but I never really took notice of that it wasn't really that popular. I mean, now compared to like a Connecticut broadleaf or something, I guess it's not. But I don't know. What do you think, Jerry?
Well, I think the reason why San Andreas Maduro has gotten so big is because, there's only so much Connecticut broadleaf wrapper to go around, and not everybody has access to it. Not everybody can afford it. Not everybody can get it. So you start looking around, seeing where other stuff is. Now, traditionally, we all kind of frown upon Mexican tobacco. It's really traditionally not been the best. But yeah, there's been a couple releases like which one that's called? The Mi Amor. What else? The bat one, the bat guano.
La Roma de Cuba, the Murcielago.
Right, the Murcielago. Yeah, so there's been a couple out there. I don't remember seeing too many of them this year at the show. I remember the previous year they were bigger. They were bigger. Yeah. This year it was a lot of Connecticut. Everybody seemed to have their own version of the Connecticut. I think it just has to go with how that crop for that year aged and how that crop went compared to, I mean, everybody knows, when you think of Maduro, everybody's first thing that come to mind is Connecticut broadleaf Maduro. So I think it was just San Andreas Maduro just became, popular out of necessity, not because of anything else. So, Hewitt.
Well, I think that the fact that it's a pretty well-known fact that a particular a certain Nicaraguan Puro uses that as its wrapper, and it is very highly rated. That has contributed to it. When people were let in on the secret, it's got a great unique flavor, and I don't know. When you say was it going to hit the mainstream, like everybody's got one. I mean, it's kind of mainstream. I don't know if it'll have staying power, but I think it will have. I mean, obviously, it has staying power with what it's best known for. So, yeah, I think it'll be around. I think people are going to continue to make it. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but the Mi Amor was one of the more recent ones, and that was fairly recent. That was before the show, but that was people are still coming out with it, so I think it'll be around for a while. I mean, it's as consumption grows, there's going to be a demand for tobacco, so it's going to be people making that, people using it. I don't know about in terms of other types of Mexican tobacco. I'm not sure. I'm not as familiar with the other kinds. So maybe if, they find a kick-ass farm, the kick-ass crop. Who knows? But I don't know. I think it's still going to be San Andreas is going to be mainstream. Anything else is going to be binder or filler. So, and who has it next? I don't know.
Walt.
There we go.
Yeah, I think that the San Andreas Maduro will probably always be more popular than Mexican fillers and binders. But I don't know that it'll ever be as popular as Connecticut broadleaf Maduro. I think it's unique. It's interesting, but I think it's a supply thing. I don't know that there's just enough available to make it become completely mainstream.
Enough good quality of it, at least. Yeah.
What the hell was that?
What?
Jerry's sitting next to an air conditioning unit, I think.
Yep.
Oh.
Or a tornado just landed in Maryland.
Or you landed an airplane there or something?
It's fine. It's been on
before. Let one of his sex toys run in, so
Your mom left it here. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so the next question comes from Chris, a.k.a. Beaver C32. And he wants to know what is one thing you know about cigars now that you wish you knew when you first started smoking. Mike, since you're the new guy.
Does he know anything about cigars?
I don't even know what the damn things are. I thought this was a
bundles.
cigarette.
Bundles.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's your answer, bundle boy?
Yeah. I don't know. I honestly, I mean, just maybe about the sheer quantity that's available. I mean, you know, that was one of the things that surprised me, you know, way back when, just the amount of cigars that are out there. I mean, it can just overwhelm you when you first get started, but I really don't know what else other than that. What do you think, Walt?
Going back to when I very first started smoking cigars, I wish I would have known that domestically available cigars were as good as they are. When I first got into cigars because a friend of mine was given a whole bunch of Habano stuff, and just a collection of a guy that passed away. His wife gave it to a friend of mine, who in turn gave me some. And you know, I coveted those Habanos for a long time, and I just refused to smoke other stuff from local stores because it couldn't possibly be as good. And then, you know, when I kind of ran out of all the good stuff, I started hitting, you know, local cigar shops and ordering from JR and things like that. And, you know, it really opened my eyes to how great some of the domestically available stuff was. I wish I had known that earlier, because I would have started supplementing much sooner. I'm done.
Go ahead, Hewitt.
All right. Well, I'm disappointed that neither of you mentioned wishing you had known me when you first started smoking cigars, but we'll let that pass.
I still wish I didn't know you.
Yeah. The feeling's mutual, bundle boy. The thing, and I keep coming back to this, the thing that
how come Brian never picks on Walt? You notice that? Never.
Yeah.
He knows Daddy.
I like it better this way.
Of guile just flies towards him, like the hair just sucks it in. I don't know, it's just like, you know, hair absorbs odor, and, you know, it absorbs abuse and everything else, you know. It's it probably smells like chili up there. Anyway, so the one thing that I was thinking when I saw this, it came to mind almost immediately, is consistency and stability is more important in your humidor than the number on your hygrometer. That is because I had a lot of burn issues for a lot of time.
Are you reading from notes? Do you have notes there?
I actually wrote it down. I wrote it down because it came to mind. I wrote it down because I actually read
this. You fucking loser. That's not how we do
I
we wing shit here. Come on.
Okay, I will never read the questions ahead of time again. I will never prepare for this again.
Can you hold up your notes? Let's see your notes.
Oh, I just scribbled a few things. I don't like. That's the printout. I just printed it out, so I didn't have to look at the computer screen.
That you're already looking at anyways, because there are webcams there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I got another screen over here, you know, over there. So, you know, they want to be doing that the entire damn time. So yeah, it's the consistency of the environment in your humidor, how important that is. Even over short periods of time, it's just keeping it consistent is more important at 70% or 68 or whatever, 72, whatever the heck you want to go with. So that's the thing I wish I would have known. Just get that crap stable, just stable, and a lot of your issues will just vanish.
Yeah, no, y'all have very, very good answers. I like it. For me, I would have known that. I wish I would have known that there were more places to buy cigars than just JR Cigars. I wasted my first 2.5, 3 years of my smoking life hanging out at JR Cigars, who could give a rat's ass about me, and then I discovered Draper's, who's just a home away from home. So I wish I could have those first couple years back and wouldn't have wasted so much time and so much money at JR Cigars when I could have built a relationship sooner with Draper's and other B&Ms. For a very long time, I thought JR Cigars was the shit, the place to buy your cigars, and it's really not. Really, really not.
But you still hear that a lot of times. Every now and again, I'll hear from someone that's sort of, I wouldn't say a new cigar smoker, but they're basically
the Walmart of cigars. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just can't get ammo and milk there, though. Yeah.
I don't know, because when I was up in the DC area, I visited that one, and they did have beer steins, so they might actually have a small grocery store in there now.
That's the one I spent countless lunch hours and days at for no. Don't even have a fucking chair, nowhere to sit. It's just a big fucking warehouse.
Didn't you get ejected from that store?
I'm sorry?
Didn't you get ejected from that store?
Yeah, because... Yeah. Whatever. Because they're bitches.
Wow.
People, that's what she said to Lou Rothman. They didn't like it.
They didn't like it, yeah. He didn't get my humor.
See?
Yeah, I can't imagine hanging out there. That's definitely not a hangout store, so...
Definitely not.
So who's next on the reading?
Mike.
Okay.
Last
one.
Just to keep him awake.
Ah, sure.
Look at him, he's like ready to fall out. It's only fucking 8 o'clock.
Are the pot brownies kicking in there, Bundle Boy?
Yes. Jonathan via Stogie Review. What is the difference between bench pressed, box pressed, and Cuban pressed? Do the blends have to be changed to press them properly? Let's give it to Walter this time.
I had a feeling it was coming towards me, and I don't know. I mean, I
was
just
hoping you did.
I was just assuming that the different presses were how much. I think a Cuban press is pressed more than a box press, but I really don't know. You know, I just thought maybe it was a more severe press, but I don't know, and I didn't research it because I was kind of hoping I could leech off of someone else, but you know, of course, Mike had to throw me under the bus with that one.
I'm sure Brian, he would have some notes.
No, I get no notes. I mean, I didn't actually look anything up. I just wrote down thoughts that came to mind, so I would have to think less while I'm doing this and focus more attention on making fun of Bundle Boy.
Thank you.
And maybe Walt, but nah, yeah, I got nothing there. I was told, because I reviewed something that was bench pressed recently, and what I was told at the time, and it seems accurate, is the bench press is a rounder, softer box press, and I'm thinking the Cuban press. I think the Cuban press is the really severe one, where you see them just like crammed in with fucking 90-degree angles on them and such. I think that's the Cuban press. I think I don't know. I'm not familiar with it. I've heard box pressed and bench pressed more often than I've heard Cuban pressed, I think. So I think that is the distinction there. What do you think, Jerry? I know you don't know anything, but I'm throwing to you anyway.
Well, I kind of agree with Hewitt. I always thought it was something about when they were pressed. You know, bench press was pressed, you know, with the cigars being rolled in a mold, whereas box press was they were put in the box then pressed. Cuban pressed, I thought that's where they make sandwiches from. I don't know. Yeah, I'm like Hewitt. I've heard bench press and box press more than Cuban pressed. As far as do the blends have to be changed, we know with Dion's his Slam series, which are bench press, you know, he had to tweak it a little bit, take out a leaf of Lajero or a leaf of whatever, so that it presses properly. But yeah,
it doesn't split.
So it doesn't split. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so the blend does have to be altered a little bit, you know, just because it's just going to come out the sides and seams. But yeah, I don't know too much about Cuban press. Box press, yes. Bench press, yes. Cuban press, no.
I think Cuban press is a name for a line that is box pressed, or maybe even more, you know, extremely pressed. I have to think that that's like a Rocky Patel's got a Cuban press, or somebody's got something called the Cuban press.
Yeah, CAO was the only one that really comes to mind for me.
Is it? Is that what it is? I mean,
oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they did that sampler pack though. What?
They came out the whole
Italia,
series.
Brasilia,
MX2
with
whole
LX2
series,
or something.
That might have just been a kind of a marketing name. I don't know. I mean, that's
it's really pressed. I mean,
is
they're
it
like
really?
They're like rectangular shaped at the bottom.
It's
I mean,
it's like a Java waif type thing. Yeah. Tongue depressed. Yeah. Good point.
Yeah, if I would have been more prepared, I might have looked in my humidor upstairs.
You should have written down notes.
Yes, you should have. I don't.
Yeah.
Well,
see, I printed it out, but I have no notes.
Jerry's just jealous because he's functionally illiterate. I mean, he can do the video, but he can't write or read or anything like that. So,
Motherfucker, who sent you the questions? Twice.
that doesn't mean you wrote them. It doesn't mean you wrote them.
Over. No.
Just because you emailed them.
So yeah, I never actually bench press. I never really knew what that was. I just figured some manufacturer called it bench press, some called it box pressed. I really didn't know there was a difference between them.
We can tell you definitely don't know what a bench press is.
Whichever press you use, does it add anything to the cigar? I mean, what's the point of?
Some people like it. Some people claim, like I remember with the CAO Brasilia, the box press version of it, people were swearing up and down that the box press was better than the regular one. And I don't know.
It's like more intense.
I don't know. I mean, in theory, they took a leaf out of it to get it to fit the mold or something. You would think. So I don't know. And it's supposedly the blends were the same otherwise. So
I tend to like a loose draw, and I think I get that more often with a press cigar than a round cigar. I don't know whether that has anything to do with it, but
I always get shitty burns when I think about box press cigars that I've smoked, or press cigars I've smoked. Just shitty uneven burns.
I was just thinking maybe it's just a different amount of time that they're in the press for the different ones. You know, what if you let a box press cigar in the mold longer? What happens?
Gets more square.
Look at that deer in the headlights. Everybody just like,
I mean, I don't know what happens, man. It just sits there.
I was asking you.
I mean, if it's square, does it get more square? How does that happen? I don't know. It's already square.
Who was the one?
It becomes a triangle if it stays in there long enough.
Who makes star shape?
Yeah, who was the one that came? Wasn't there someone who came out the triangle-looking dude before?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the Obelisco, the La Gloria Cubana. They have the obelisk.
No, didn't Victor Sinclair or something do an actual triangular shape?
All right.
Yeah, I think that's about it. That's all that's on my note sheet.
That's all.
So what's up?
What's up?
What's up?
What's up? Do people still do that? Like that?
No,
I hope not.
No, they don't.
No.
Only
they do that so matter of factly.
Right before they get a fucking knee to the groin. They do it. One time that happens. Dude, that doesn't happen anymore.
It doesn't?
Pretty sure. Well, not everybody at once, damn it.
Oh, Jerry's taking phone calls. I guess he stopped recording.
Oh my God, he is.
Did you stop?
Are we recording?
No, we're still recording.
Oh. But on
Alan, buddy, what's up?
Shit, I'm getting a phone call too now.
Well, answer it. What the hell?
Oh, God damn it. The best part is I could tell it was you from a distance because it's got that little elf costume for your face. What, are you leaving a message now?
What's up?
God damn it. God damn it.
Alright. That was fun.
I'm amazed it took me that long. I must be really sleep deprived to realize that you were calling. I was like, someone's calling me now. What the hell?
Me now?
Yeah.
Alright.
I think this is
bye.
Right to the halt. Yeah.
Yeah. Alright. Mike, say bye to everybody.
Bye.
Dude, you suck. What kind of shit was that? Bye.
Fuck you want me to say?
You say long fucking ashes.
I don't say that. Oh, wait. Here. Point.
There you go. Fucking new guy.
You ever see the Smurfs like a long time ago when you were a kid and they all turned purple? You look like you got that.
No, I don't think I ever watched the Smurfs.
Oh, okay. That's okay. They're a bunch of little fucking communists anyway. Fuck off.
Oh, that's so not getting edited out.
Oh, really?
That was fucking awesome. And Brian Hewitt talks about how he really feels about the Smurfs.
Little fucking blue commie bastards.
Except for Smurfette, because she gives good blowjobs.
Well, you know she had to be warned the hell. You know she had to be warned the hell out. There's one of her. There's like 100 of them. Oh my god.
Yeah. All right. Let me light my cigar and then we'll get going.
We're going back to the life cam.